Okay, here we have a car that we know from back in the 2000s when we started rallying. Wesley Massam campaigned this car, and it's now up here for storage and is offered for sale by the owner. Let's take a look around and see what I can tell you. Let's go to the front first. I think we can reasonably assume it last competed in 2008, since it's got the most fantastic Devil's Own rally plate on here, and that sort of ties in with the tax disc which says 2009. Let's just go round and look at the general condition of the car. The radiator chrome surround is in moderately good condition. It's got the usual little bit of rust dimpling here. We have this light bar here which is suspended from the bumper stanchions, but ordinarily would connect back up onto the bumper at these points, which at the moment are just loose, but plenty strong there. Let's go round that way. These fittings here, my recollection is that Wesley used to run a mechanical trip meter off the front hub, and this is where the cable ran, so that's what they're there for. Continuing round, wipers are the typical 444 clap hands wipers and are electric. They're not the vacuum operated setup, so those are electric. Continuing aft, a little bit of corrosion here that needs attention. You'll see that when you come to look at the car. Continuing further aft, the original fuel filler. We seem to have lost the bumper along the way somewhere, so the bumper is missing, the rear bumper is missing, and Wesley's lovely grab handles in case anyone needed to push him at some point. Good solid handles, I like those. We could have done with those on last year's Rally of the Tests when Amy and I got stuck in our 544. Continuing round, there's a switchable reverse light. That's not on the gearbox, that is hand switched. Obviously something we don't particularly like, having followed so many competitors who tend to leave their reverse light on because they forget to switch it off. Yep, nothing much to say about the right hand side. Let's go to the engine bay. And in here we have the original B16 twin carb motor, the pair of HS4 carburetors. We have the nice remote brake reservoir, which is a delight. The original coil has been replaced by a modern coil, and it's got the original American distributor down here. The radiator is in moderately nice condition. Looks strangely bulbous header tank there, but can't think why that is. And we have a chunky Heller alternator down here. Anything else I can say about this? Not really. There's a bit of lighting for the engine bay there. Modern blade fuses on these two fuse boxes. And oh, that's interesting. We have a 4-branch tubular manifold down here, which is something we did with Emma's car also. So that's interesting. And we have some spacers, big ooh, what is that? Possibly 35mm spacers on the carburetors. So to try and get those cooler, and of course it increases torque. So that's also quite interesting. So there we go. Can I spot anything else of note down here in the engine bay? Not really. Nice glass bowl fuel pump down there as original. I think we're probably finished in there. Let's go and have a look at the boot. Okay, in here, well, let's start from the outside first. So yes, we still have the original Volvo fuel tank, and in addition to that, we have a plastic auxiliary fuel tank as well. Spare wheel and one extra tyre that goes with the set of wheels I'll show you in a minute, and a selection of half shafts have been provided here in the boot as well. The dog isn't included in the sale. There we go, that's the boot. And let's look around the running gear before we head inside the car. At the moment it's got a set of Max Sport RB4s, which are actually, I used to quite like these tarmac intermediates. They are remolds, and they kind of did the job, but the balance was awful on them. And over here, coming with the car, is a set of 4 wheels and 5 chunky Avon tyres. Three of the 5 tyres look legal. 2 of them are bit of a debatable, but really not what you'd keep. Okay, that's those. What else can I see on this car? Here on the front end we have, he has converted to disc brakes, so we've got the I presume 3-pot caliper on here, and I did spot that the front suspension has the delightful Yoginder Singh twin shock conversion. So this car has got the decent twin shock conversion up the front end, so it should handle very nicely. And actually, yeah, okay, I thought that was very stiffly sprung, but it's not. That feels nicely pliant springing. I quite like that. Indoors, okay, we have TRS, currently 4-point harnesses, but they were 6-point harnesses at some point. Just the crutch straps aren't there. The passenger, the navigator and the driver are seated on Saab 9000 leather seats, which we've always found supremely comfortable. Up in here, so nothing much to give it away as a rally car, because clearly the mechanical trip meter's gone, but we've got a switch bank here which seems to include spots, reverse light, interior, and a tacho which is no longer here, and some big warning lamps, oil, alternator, temperature down there. What's in the, okay, yep, the glove compartment has obviously been superseded for the rally kit at some point. In the back behind me we have the original set of seats, front seats. So the car is supplied with front seats, and we have the full triangulated rear roll cage. Ah, look at this. I said there was no tacho. Here it is, up in the roof. There's our tachometer. Okay, there's that. Can I see anything else that is worthy of note in here? A dirty grey plot lamp up here. And I would say that's about it. The mats are in surprisingly good condition. The transmission tunnel actually looks like a reasonably newish one, whereas the floors are probably originals. I think there's very little else I can say. Let's just zoom out. Okay, so we've got Wesley's old PV444 up and running. I had to drop out the fuel on the assumption it really was 12 years old. Put in fresh fuel, primed it all up, and it burst into life, which is nice. So I'll just drive it round the yard for you. And we were getting, when it was hot, around about 45 psi of oil pressure. The temperature came up exactly where we wanted it to, nice vertical needle. So it all sounds quite sweet, really. So let me just drive it round and you can see a couple of clips of it. Nice start up there, wasn't it? Very clean. The engine's sort of cool now, but not cold. Clutch feels lovely. Okay, I'm just going to disappear up the drive now and try and just run through all 4 gears. There we go, that's all 4 forward gears plus reverse, all work rather pleasingly. We now have at idle slightly less than 45 psi oil pressure, which is good. Temperature's almost up there. The speedometer works. Well, there's nothing much else to say, really. I think to set this engine up nicely from now would probably, my first thing would be to fit a 123 Dizzy, if your regs permit it. Just makes life easy on the ignition side, and take work from there. I'm going to put it to bed. Thank you. the front of the chassis members, which is not totally unusual. That has not been touched, that looks fine. Quite a certain amount of denting there, which is the giveaway actually. That shows that our concept of putting a dirty grey steering guard in here is absolutely true, because if he's hitting stuff that heavily up there, the next thing it's going to meet is the steering. So yeah, that's why we fit steering guards. That's it really. Yeah, it looks pretty sound. What did we find there then? We found that that's had a bit of welding up around the anti-roll bar mount there. Left-hand side looks completely unwelded. Right-hand front floor pan has been plated up. Yeah, it looks like there's been a bit of welding on the bottom of these rear rails, but it all looks sound. And the floor pan, the boot pan is sound, which is another commonplace. There we go, that's the undersides. Okay, so PV444, offered for sale on behalf of the customer. It's the customer you need to contact. We'll have his details on our website. If there's any external questions you wish to ask me, then do call us up at Amazon Cars, and we'll see how that goes. Thank you very much.